was born in Detroit, Michigan. My parents were immigrants from Greece, so I spoke Greek. My mother never learned English, and my father died. He had a restaurant in Detroit, but he slipped at one point and fell and hit his head, and he died when I was 13. And then my mother missed him a lot, and 6 years later she died. I don't know why I wanted a piano in the first place. Years ago, I asked my parents and they got me a piano, but I don't even know how they even, managed that then. And once I got the piano, I just was handled very well throughout the years, and eventually went to college, the Eastman School of Music. So that's the story. I remember when my mother sent me to school, I didn't know enough English, so they said, well, I can't go to school. And I remember going home, I really remember going home crying because I wanted to go to school. I ended up getting a job at a college in Pennsylvania, all the way to Pennsylvania. And I taught there at a college called Mansfield College for 40 years. And I still hear from many of my former students.
Even I worked. I worked at an ice cream store and a card place. I had two places, Saved my money, Yeah, that was a long time ago. He was the most wonderful person, and I never wanted, how other guys come, I never wanted another man. He was just the one I wanted, and he was wonderful. But what did the doctor say? The doctor said I kept him alive, That was the words. He says, you took good care of him, So, I loved him, and he was awesome. He was just awesome. Probably the most best thing I have now is I'm still dancing. I'm still dancing, When I'm with my family, and I'll say, oh, Sylvia, come on, let's dance, I wasn't shy at all. I still even am like that. When there's music, I'll get up and dance. Dancing was my favorite thing, if you want to know the truth. I like dancing. It keeps you alive, And I still have my family. I love it. The family is wonderful. I have wonderful families, We're always together, In fact, they're saying my birthday is soon, August 4th, so I'll probably be with them, They're wonderful. We have a good time. Yeah, we do, yeah.
My aunt was an Episcopal, is an Episcopal nun. She was very influential in my life. They had a camp for girls on the Cape in Duxbury, St. Margaret's Camp, and she worked there at times, and I went to that camp several times. Yeah, it was very nice. Johnson High in North Andover. I played basketball. I was a good basketball player. I'm a big swimmer. Grew up on the water, and I liked to boat. I've always liked education. I went to Tufts. I graduated from there as a psych major. Oh, that's my favorite picture. Oh, I love it. That's Pat Christensen. That's me. That's her husband. And that's my husband. And biking, oh, I love to bike. Yes, I'm a big biker and walker. I like the countryside. Oh, that's nice. Isn't that great? I love this picture. This is me, of course. And my daughter, Lynn, Lori, and Lance. All L's. I don't know why I did that, but I liked it. A little strange, but...
I met him when I was 18, I think. Met him at a dance at the Hotel Statler. They had a big orchestra, and he was a good dancer. And one of his boyfriends says, "How can you date Betty? She's so young." Which I wasn't, I just looked young. So he stopped seeing me for a while. So then I had an accident and I broke this leg. I ended up in the hospital, and I said to my mother, "Invite all the friends I know, but don't invite Jack." So she invited Jack. So when I came to the hospital, there were like 5 guys there. So we thought, oh, maybe this is somebody special. Well, that's my husband in front of his store. Yeah, he owned this store. It was a small market, meat market. My grandson works it now. Well, my husband was very outgoing, and he attracted a lot of people. He was a good businessman. Julia Child was our favorite customer. See, we lived in Cambridge. The store was in Cambridge, and she was in Irving Street, which was just a couple of streets away. So we saw her all the time. She was a wonderful friend. That's my beautiful husband. He was so good looking and so cute and so sweet, and had a vibrant personality. Just being with him was a joy. He was very upbeat and always smiling and always joking. Fun to be with. And we had a lot of friends. Oh, he loved convertibles. My husband loves convertibles. And the older the better. Oh, I like convertibles, but he was really into it. She was an emergency nurse, and he was a butcher, and he had cut his finger and it was getting infected. So he said, "Betty, I have to go to the emergency room." So we went to the emergency room, and my daughter-in-law was there. And he said, "Are you married?" She said, "No." He said, "I have 3 sons. What age would you like?"
Well, my father was an auto mechanic, and my mother was just a homemaker, you know. Yeah, so they got along pretty good. Still remember we lived on the 3rd floor and low was a bar room downstairs. And they used to climb in the hallway because the hallway had the bathroom in the hallway. Every once in a while I used to find somebody in the bathroom drunk, you know. I said, "Oh, Jesus, here we go again." After the night I went. I grew up in Lowell, well, Drake, Little Canada they call it, because most of us speak French. Je parle français très bien because there's a fait that book. Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. And I went to a French school at the Collège Saint-Joseph, and we spoke French, all of us. I was training in the Navy, and that's when the World War was declared. So they put me in the Navy right away, you know, aboard a ship, which that ship that's up there now in the Pacific, PC-575. The submarine chaser, like the Japanese and the Germans, you know. That was my living. I was on 2 years where, you know, you spot a submarine and you drop your depth charge in. So that's what we do. Yeah, up and down. I had a monkey. I picked up a monkey in the island in the Pacific. I was climbing the top of the ship, the stack, and all of a sudden the monkey grabbed out of my hand and in the Pacific Ocean. I lost my monkey.
My father was a watchman for the American Powder Company. Because we lived in one of their houses. They owned the whole street from Concord to Maynard. They owned all the houses. So when people worked for them, they went to live in the houses like for $1.25 a month. So whatever it was, you know, it was all up. It was like all one big family. It was during the war and everything. So they were always a big deal because they provided ammunition for the war. Actually, I was on one of these weekends. This other girl and I, she had come down from Canada and she wanted to go to a baseball game and whatever. He came in and introduced himself, and he found out I came from Maine, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I was at the movies there last night, and we got a kick out of that. Yeah, so then I started going out with them. I had 6. I had 4 boys and 2 girls. Yeah, they were all good, all very active, all good athletes. They were a very good family. We did have a lot of fun. Like I say, they were very athletic. There was always something going on. I mean, every day it was afternoons back to the high school because they were in something. Yeah, it was a fun time to grow up, really.